Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 4, Episode 224. Today is September 11th, 2025, and it feels like September 11th, 2001. Sometimes we have to have something wake us up from our slumber. And that's what happened in 2001, where we felt like we were untouchable. Nothing bad could ever happen here. Everything is fine. Do what you need to do to get along. Everything is good enough. And then the sleeping giant gets awakened, and I feel like this is about to happen again. And I just ask everybody to stay calm and do the right thing, but stay vigilant and do what you believe in. And we never resort to violence. And as you know, I've made some quote political type speeches lately in my community, and I'm doing things the right way. I'm going to meetings. I'm going in front of people who can make a difference. I'm voting, they're voting, doing whatever I can do to make my community better. And that's how you bring about meaningful change. You let the community discuss things. You make a correct choice that's within the law, that's within the Constitution, and you make your country better, you make your community better. But resorting to violence is never okay. So that's all I'm really going to say. It really is like a punch in the gut. No matter what. I mean, I remember the baseball game, whatever that was, 2017, when senators got shot. And it didn't matter if they were liberal or conservative. It was a shot at the whole country. And anytime you have someone whose goal is free speech for everyone and opportunity for everyone and uniting everyone, it doesn't matter what side they're on. When there's a loss like that that's unjustified, then the whole country should mourn. Anyway, this is a podcast about advantage play. We'll get along with the advantage play now. I almost wanted to just go through and discuss where I was 9/11 and stuff, but I'm not going to. Anyway, today is Thursday, and another long drive. Another one I'm not looking forward to because there's no in-between anymore. Now it's going to the furthest point, the absolute furthest point every single time, with no stops in between, and then deciding if I'm going to stay late or stay overnight or what I'm going to do in order to make money. So today we're hoping to get 2 sessions of Blackjack in, 1 session of poker in, and a couple sessions of slots, and hopefully come out looking good. As you know, I've been playing more poker, more pot limit Omaha. Confidence is getting a little better, but still a little bit spooked by pot limit Omaha because the swings can be so huge. I've always played poker all these years as, you sit down with $200, $300, you double it up and you leave. And now things are changing. Now it's a higher risk game where you can expect to lose your stack 2 or 3 times potentially before you make money. And every time you lose your stack, other people's stacks are getting bigger. And when you rebuy, your stack is effectively smaller each time because the other stacks are so big that you're practically all in pre-flop a lot of the time. So learning how to navigate through all that. And I know that I need to sign up for the online stuff. I'm so tired when I get home. I really need to maybe spend a day doing that. You know what? Maybe this weekend, if not this weekend, maybe Monday, instead of going to play poker, maybe we set up the poker account and we start play. So yeah, if you guys know anything about this WPT Gold that would give me a hint about how to sign up for it in a way that would be more beneficial, let me know. And yeah, I'll keep you guys updated with all that stuff. Since I started this method of play, this style of play that I'm doing with the poker, my winnings have increased quite a bit. I did have one big losing day with the 2-5. It was a minus 800 day. But that was a mix of both variance and me maybe not making the best decisions on that day. So still trying to fine-tune my game and get better, make less mistakes. And sometimes you got to say, you know what, with the turn, now there's 4 to a straight, there's 4 to a flush, maybe it's time to let the hand go. I'm not saying that's what happened, but you know, there's certain situations where your aces aren't any good anymore and you have to let them go. So anyway, just starting my journey here. Just watched the sunrise. It's rising later and later, and I'll be back to update you. But today is a pretty cool temperature this morning. Not as cold as it was yesterday, but today's going to be a hot one. It's one of those fall days. Right now it's about 50 degrees outside. The high today is going to be 82. So anyway, we're on our way, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, getting close to the casino now. There must be some kind of accident or something. I'm only like a mile away from the exit, and traffic is almost at a standstill here. So I don't know what's going on. Some people pulled over, otherwise doing like 10 right now. Anyway, trip was okay, a little bit uneventful, but definitely long. Hoping here that I'll get at least an hour on a blackjack table before switching over to poker. So we'll see, just depends on how busy it is. I'm not sure what this traffic is. Is it because there's an event going on, or accident, or what? I'm not really sure. So anyway, right now, plenty of time. Got here early enough that I can do a full session of blackjack without having to hurry before the shift changes. And we're going to go in and make some money, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. And so I go into this place. Wow, what is this loud noise here, man? Alright, go into this place, and looking around, I find like one slot play. Got paid like nothing on it, like 50 cents or something, and I'm not finding anything else. So I decided to go play some blackjack. It's early enough that I have time to get a good session in. So I'm looking. I find a table I want to play, but I suspect that this pit boss knows me, but I'm not positive. But ended up being yes, because they did put me in, which is not good. I kept it short. Ended up buying in for 500, played, and ended up having to rebuy for a double down. Did okay there, played on a little bit longer, and finally ended on a negative count plus 500. Now, interestingly, I'm not getting these people and how they think and what they're doing, what their angle is. It seems like when I played another game just to kind of throw them off a little bit, even though I won, they didn't put that in the system, the same people. But I played blackjack and I won, and they did put it in the system, which tells me they're trying to show a big win on blackjack on purpose. Now, the thing is, though, they only put me in for like 1 minute of play, which is really odd. And when I look at my win-loss statement, because you can look at it all the time, let me pull up the other one here, because I'm pretty sure I'm right. They only put me in for a $200 gain, even though it was a $500 gain. So what's the story? I'm not really sure what's going on there, but I've been taking screenshots of the statement before and after, and seeing what they do. And they did put me in, but they put me in as a $200 win and playing for like 1 minute. So I'm sure somehow that's really bad, but we made money, walked away from there, and as I was walking to that table, I saw a guy checking some machines, and he's the guy I know. He's okay. I don't know him that well, but we say hi to each other when we see each other. And so I just forgot about it. And when I finished up, I was walking in that area, and I see him there with another guy who's an AP. So I'm like, okay, something's going on here. Maybe he found something on that machine because he's still on the same machine. Um, so I walk up to him, and they're like, well, we think we found a play, but we don't know if we want to play it. I said, well, what is it? And they couldn't explain it to me. They finally showed it to me on the screen. I'm like, yeah, that's a play. And I wanted the play. So I would take 100% of the play, but they found it. So I'm like, well, what do you want to do? Do you want to split it? We're not sure. I'm like, I'll take the whole thing if you don't want it, but if you want it, let's split it. I'll take a third of it or whatever you want. And one guy's like, no, a third is too. It was $20 to spend. A third is too much for me. I want less. I said, I'll tell you what. Why don't I take half and each of you take a quarter? They're like, yeah, that's good. So I said, okay, that's good. So I put 400 in the machine. They each put 200 in the machine, so we had 800 in there at $20 a spin. On the fifth spin, it hits and pays out exactly $1,200, which is like the worst case scenario. $11.99, no taxes. $1,200, pay taxes. So so one of them said, because I didn't want to run it through my name because I already had issues. I don't want to have W-2s and big things on mine. So one of them said, well, maybe we should split up while we get paid. I said, yeah, that sounds good. I'm going to go over to this section and just come over when you're done. So I go, I'm like waiting and waiting. It's been like 15 minutes and nobody's come. Then I see the one guy walking away. I'm like, what's going on here? So I go back there, and the guy's still waiting to get paid, but he had paid the other player his 25% out of the voucher that we had. So I was the only one left to pay. So we spun it 5 times. I put in $400. We lost we lost the first 4, and the 5th spin is the one that hit. So we were in for 100. So I lost 50. So that means I had 350 left, plus half the 1,200, which is 600. So I had 950 coming to me. So he's like, yeah, I'm just waiting. I said, okay. So I leave. I come back 10 minutes later. It's been like 25 minutes. He's like, oh, well, they got a new system, and they got a manager to help them with it. I'm like, great, the manager. I love that. Always, things like that always happen. Like the one time I was banned from a casino, and I go to its sister casino and hit a jackpot the next day, and it takes them over a half hour to pay me because something was wrong with my ID. It was cracked or something. Those are the times that test you. You're like, oh, man, now. So anyway, I leave, and I come back 10 minutes later. Now it's been over 30 minutes. And he's like, yeah, I could pay you right now out of my pocket. I'm like, well, why don't you just tell her you're going to the bathroom, meet me in the bathroom real quick. He's like, okay. And then I'm walking away, and I hear him say, oh, okay, you're all done? So she came over there. So I went to the bathroom, and then he followed me in, and he gave me my cut. And I'm like, well, how much did you tip her? And he said, nothing. He said, I was in a hurry. I said, you got to tip her something. Go back. Here's 5 for my half of the tip, and you tip whatever you want. And he's like, okay. So I gave him $5 out of it. And I ended up making a couple other tiny plays, nothing substantial. But overall, ended up ahead 500 on the blackjack and 583 on the slots. I went to play some poker, and the poker area is already jam-packed. That half hour screwed me because then everyone started getting in line. Any open seats were full. Now there's going to be a shift change, so now it's going to be all kinds of new dealers coming, so it's going to be a big mess. So I cashed everything out. I'm in the car. I'm running some scans, doing some things, answering some emails, and then I'll probably head back in there and see what I can do. But overall, okay, plus 500 on the blackjack, plus 583 on the slots, and I'll be back to update you. I don't know why the music is always so loud in this place, but so talked to a couple other guys. We decided to keep going on this one, and that there's still possibilities, and there's still possibilities. And so this time we went 1/3 each, two different guys, and we each put in 500, so we had 1,500 in there total, and just hit a W2 for 1,580, and we still have like 930 in the machine, so we're up like a little over 1,000, like 1,010. He's going to give her 20 for a tip, and then we're going to continue it on, but I decided just to walk away, be away from that area while all that goes on, and then come back and finish it up. At this point, shouldn't be more than like 200 more spins max, so most we can lose is 4,000, which would be 1,000 each, which right now we each have like 800 equity in there. So technically, if it pays 0 at the end and it pays 0 on every single spin, then I could be down 700, but most likely we're going to end up slightly ahead at least, so hopefully all that works out. But right now just waiting for the payout, and then we'll finish everything up and I'll come back and let you know. But so far so good with that. I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. So did my work, then I went back in and looking around, and I see, now remember we left the play, the play wasn't over, but people's experience with this machine has been it's either going to be really hot or really cold after this happens, after like that payout that we got. So at that time, the two guys that I was with did not want to play anymore, and it took so long for the payout. My goal at that point was to get out before the shift changes. So I left, they left with the shift change. I went to my car, took care of some work stuff, some scans, some emails, replied to some stuff. Everything was all good and caught up and everything, and I went back in. And when I went back in, I called a friend of mine and I said, look, there's this play. And he's like, I already know about it. I'm like, okay. He's like, if you want to split it, we can split it. I'm like, okay, that sounds good to me. And I was a little worried about it, and I decided, let's go ahead and do it. And we went to the machine. A friend of his was there, and he wanted in on it too. So now we got 3 people again. But this time, instead of 50%, I've got 1/3. So I got 33%, and we're going for it again. Start playing, $20 a spin. Well, before that, as I was waiting for this guy to show up, I saw this older lady, and so I stopped saying old. I started saying older. I saw this older lady, and she was playing a machine, and I'm just walking by, and I'm like, oh, well, definitely for sure, there's a play right there, so I'm just going to wait for a second, and she's almost out of cash. So I waited, and she's going like min bet, second bet, third bet, back to min bet, back and forth, back and forth. Got down to her last dollar, won $9, and then she's, you know, the regular person, they're going to slow play it. They're going to click, spin, 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 spin. Okay, click, and it's so slow. Finally, she finished up. I'm standing like 20 feet behind her, and I'm getting ready to walk over there, and she reaches into her purse, and I'm like, oh, all right, well, I guess this deal is dead. I'm just going to wait until she puts the money in, and then I'll walk away. Well, she decided to walk away instead, so I walked up to the machine, and I put in $10, and that wasn't enough, so I put in 20 more, and it hit, and I was ahead like $37 on that one. So it was okay, paid all right. So then we went back to that machine, and we sit down, and so we decide we're each going to put in 500, and we'll see how it goes. I mean, we're going to play it all the way through at this point. If we're each putting in 500, we're playing it all the way through. So spinning, 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 it's getting us 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, $6, 0, 0, $4. And we were down $530 before it hit, and that paid $1,580. So remember, this is a whole different thing than the other money, so forget about the other money. So did that, And after taxes and tip on that spin, we yielded $1,500 even. He gave her like a $13 tip, which is fine with me. And so then we continued on, and so we had whatever I just said, $970 left in the machine. We had the $1,500 in cash in our hand, and so then we continued on, and nothing. We're like, oh man, it's either hot or cold right now. And it hit again. This time we were down to 707 of our 1,500, and it hit for 1,220. That was agony. 1,220, which was 1,160 after tip and taxes, and then we kept on playing. And so at that point we were down to 707. By the time we hit again, it was actually up to 727. So we'd made $20 profit and hit for 1,020 more. And then it went on a big dry spell. So we're talking about we had 1,747 in the machine, and it hit. When it hit, we were down to 1,007, and the final payout, the final win on that machine was $2. All that play, $2 for the thing that we were chasing. So all the hits along the way were all the hits, and the actual thing that we were chasing actually ended up paying us nothing. So we ended up cashing out 1,500 plus 1,160 plus 1,009, which is 3,669. So that's 1,223 each, which means we made a profit of 723 each. 723 plus the 37 on the other machine is 760. So I ended up making another $760 on those slots. Now, I was thinking about playing blackjack while I was waiting for these guys. I looked and I saw the same pit boss I saw this morning, and he's just, I don't know what he's doing, but he's walking around everywhere. I know he's one of the higher up pit bosses, and I really didn't want to have another session of blackjack and have any issues today. My friends like, just go buy in for 100, sit at a $10 table and see what happens. I'm like, I'm not worried about that. I don't have heat in that way. So I'm not going to get backed off. That's not my problem. My problem is if they know who I am and they don't think I'm counting cards, but now in the last couple of months, they've already put in almost $16,000 in profits, and that wasn't even the right amount. It was a lot more than that. Then how long is it going to be before they back me off because of that? So I was kind of like, I don't know. Do they have a threshold? Is it 25? Is it 50? Is it 100,000 before they back you off? If I know the number, maybe I could stay under it and leave and not play for 6 months or a year or whatever the reset is. Might be a lifetime. I have no idea. Maybe be gone long enough that they don't remember me anymore and then come back. So I decided not to play the blackjack, and that was really all we did for the day. So blackjack plus 500, slots plus 588, and plus 760. So whatever that is. So that's 1,080, 11, 1843, something like that. 1843 is a nice day, so we'll take that. Right now we're gonna head out, go get some food to eat. All we've had so far is half a protein shake. I have a meeting coming up here in a little over an hour, so hour and a half. So we'll get our food and start moving on, and then probably stop for gas right around the time that the meeting starts, and I'll come back and let you know what's going on. All right, guys, I am back. Just stopped for some fuel and just finished that up, but I still have like 18 minutes before my meeting, but I had to stop because I had 1 mile range, so I didn't really have a choice. So I think I'm going to try to get down the road about 15 minutes, and I may try something a little sneaky. I may try to use my noise canceling microphone and try to drive and do the meeting at the same time. Is that bad? I'm going to try. So I'm going to give this a shot here. I'm going to get as far down the road as I can, and then we're going to try that, and I'll come back and let you know how it goes. But I was hoping to drive until the meeting started, but just not possible. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. So tomorrow's going to be another long day. More blackjack, more slots, definitely some poker tomorrow. Possibly a tribal tomorrow as well. I've got this license plate still on my car. I'm ready to burn it, so I'm going to go and probably go a little bit overboard at this tribal. We'll see how it goes. I'm just not going to be as fearful right now. That casino is pretty far away anyway. So the goal tomorrow is going to be wake up very early. I have to go to work, use my card at the door, leave work, drive about 4 plus hours to my first stop from work, like 4 hours and 20 minutes. And then we're going to play there, first shift, second shift, and then we're going to go to the Indian casino, probably come back and play third shift. And it might be a long day tomorrow. All this depends on what's going on at home. I'll find that out in the next couple hours, but that might be how it works. Today's been a great day, made whatever, a couple thousand, 1900, whatever it was. So good day, and hopefully tomorrow will be just as good. Real quick, segments. What did you eat today, MW? Today I had some grilled steak, and I'm going to have another steak when I get home. Just chopped into little pieces with just some vegetables and pickles and things like that. Real good. One good thing about pickles, like 0 calories, 0 carbs, really good. They're very strong flavor, so to me it helps keep me satisfied, not want food as much. I give that at least a 10 on a scale of 2 through 8. It was really well done, perfectly made, delicious, warm, wonderful, really good. I had that protein shake as well today, as well as some whatever you call them, electrolytes. Tonight or tomorrow we're going to decide whether or not we're going to get that Frontier Airlines pass, which the answer is probably going to be yes. Even though airport's not too close to me, it's worthwhile for me to get it. And then, what did you tip today, MW? This is an interesting question. So I had one blackjack session, I tipped 0. But then we had multiple slot sessions where we made money and then we tipped. So one of them, I tipped $5. The other guys didn't tip anything. So that's $5 there. Another one, we tipped, I believe, $13 divided by 3, so that's like $4. And then another one, we tipped, I don't know how much, 10 or 12 divided by 3, which is like $3. So all in all, like $15 maybe in tips, probably less. And let's see, what did you learn today, MW? I learned that sometimes you aren't looking for something, but it's there. It's good to have friends. It's good to talk to people. It's good to have good relationships with people. And working together made me the majority of my money today. So very pleased about that. And gonna get home, get that steak, relax, start working on finalizing the flight stuff. If I'm gonna do the Frontier or not, I'll probably get that either tonight or in the morning. And then tomorrow morning will be a long one. Looks like everything is good at work. A couple meetings tomorrow, but overall should be a pretty good day. So for now, I'm going to let you go. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.